Cindy Fodor with stampthelove.blogspot.com, and I'm bringing you a flat book project. I took the basic design from a video online. I think it was in Spanish, but it helped me a lot with getting the basics. I'm just going to show you how this opens up, and then I'll show you how I put it together. This is using our new Poppy dies, stamps, DSP, Poppies everywhere. I love it. So there's the first opening. Then this flap opens. We have a second one, and these flaps open. So you can put your pictures, journaling in there. Here's another flap that opens. And then two flaps there that open. And then the last one is something that I added. And that was a photo. A little photo album just flipping down from the center. So let me get myself back together here, and I will show you how I started with this. So look at it. Yeah, by 5.5 inch piece of paper, and I scored it at 5 5/8, 6 and 11 5/8. Okay, so that's my basic piece, but it's not long enough to have the flap close. So what I did, I'm just going to pull this back here and show you what I did. So this is the piece that I would have just shown you. And then I actually scored this little piece and put it on here and added my last flap to here. So I just gave it, you can see possibly why I added this little piece, because I wanted, when my book closes, I want this little spine. I want a little bit of room in there for all of the thickness that you're going to have. So I added a little spine over here, and this is my spine. So I glued that to my last little piece that I had there, and then this will glue to that and make that spine. Okay, so I told you about this little spine that I added here, and then this piece actually goes on here, and you can see how that gives it a little bit of a spine there. Okay, so that'll be my back flap. So this piece that I showed you that I scored actually is for covering the front, because I took a piece of cardstock from the DSP, you know, the cardboard. It's really lightweight cardboard. And I cut it down a little less than 5.5 by 5.5 because that's the size of my squares here. You can see I added one here. And you can also see that I added one here underneath where I placed this folded and scored piece. Okay, so I already had that scored in place on the spine. I'm going to go ahead and glue that. And I used Tombow multi-glue. I call it green glue. So if you hear me referring to that, you'll know what I mean. So I'll put that in there and close that down. Now I don't need to cover this piece because this is where my whole center fold out piece is going to go. Okay, so that's our spine. That's how that goes together. That's going to fold in like this and like that. I sort of got that out of your way. Sorry. So folds in like this and like that. Okay, so let me skip to the inside part. I'll get rid of that. For the inside, I used gray granite, and I used 3 pieces of 5.5 by 11 inch. And they are scored at 2 3/4 from either end, giving me 5.5 in the middle. Okay, so I do need to score. I do want to show you how I put those together. So let me just score one more of these. So 1 2 3/4 and 2 3/4. Apologize, my lighting. My day got away from me, and I don't have the outside lighting that I was hoping to have. So I'm going to fold those. All 3 pieces will get folded on the score lines so that you end up like this. and you'll have your third piece here. Okay, so what I did was I just took the green glue and it looks like I'm putting a lot on there, but it's very thin. And then I just slide that together, put those together. And then I like to go ahead and fold those down while the glue is still wet to make sure that they will fold both directions easily. Okay, so that's what you're going to do with all three of those pieces. And you're going to end up with this. Now I already have the inside put in here. So what I did was I had a piece of black with a die cut out on. If you can see the purple design under there, that came in one of the Poppy sets. And then I have a 12 by 5¼ inch piece of the DSP. And I just scored that at 4 inches. And I did, you can't see it here, but I actually, I have this covered with cardstock then. Each of the sections will get covered with a piece of black cardstock. Because I didn't like the green background on this. It didn't match sort of my decor. So I covered each of those with black. So that when that opens up, this will be black, this will be black, and this will be black. Okay? And I did add... You saw how I did that spine on the red piece? I did do the same thing here. I put a little piece of cardstock under here because, see if I can show you. See, my designer paper goes directly to there and I needed something to glue it to. So I added a little piece of black underneath this black piece. So I did like 1 inch by 5¼ inches and scored that in half at 1/2 inch. So that you can just see it peeking out here. There's a little bit peeking out the edge and it goes to here. And that's what this piece is glued to. And you would see it on this side, except that now I have this black piece on top of here and that's covering it. Hopefully that makes a little sense to you. A little. Clear as mud, right? Okay, so then that folds up. And now I have everything pretty much put together and ready to decorate, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how this goes in your book, in your spine. So I'm going to fold that together and fold that together. Now, this is my back. So this is what I'm going to glue. Once again, get plenty of glue. Whoops. Don't go off the edge like that. Okay, now I'm ready to stick that into my spine, which is right here. So this is the piece I glued together already, and this is going to go in between the two score lines. Get my hair out of the way. Okay, just make sure that folds together well. Looks like I got a little crooked on that. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and put the back on this. That way you can see how that folds together. So I'm going to put some glue here on the spine. Oops, looks like I cut that a little short. I think that was a piece for a different one. Oh well, it'll do for now. It was a piece for a different page as a layer. But that gives you the basic idea, and then that folds. Now at this point, I would put my ribbon here. So I'm just gonna, I'm not gonna use green glue. I just put a little snail across here and put my ribbon down because this front piece, this will be my front piece and that will go over that. And this gets a little stamping on. I'll go back and show you the front of the card again, or the project again, so that you can see it. But there you can see the basic front piece, and the ribbon is underneath there. And that's the only place it gets glued. It will stay loose as it comes around here, and then it will tie. Okay? And let me show you the front of that again so that you can So there's the front. I did a little bit of stamping here and then die cutting. And then I added some of our little sequins and shimmer dots. I think those are the gold ones, not the new champagne ones. Okay. All right, I think that's it. I just want to show you a few of the embellishments I did for the inside. So I wanted to coordinate. I didn't want to use all designer paper, so I cut some rich raspberry and did some embossing on that to give it some texture. And then that coordinated with these designs. So I needed 4 of each thing. And then I did lots of little die cuts, like the little leaves and more of the poppies, solid poppies, and then the outline that goes with them. If I get them turned the right way here. Sorry, get that in the center so you can see it. I had a little too much fun putting this together, actually. It was very fun. Lots of great things that you could coordinate to design this. I will tell you that it took 1/4 of a pack of this paper, and I used every single sheet except for this sheet, which is absolutely gorgeous. It just didn't quite go with the theme that I was trying to look for. It had a little too much green in it. So I'll save this for a really pretty card. I could turn it right side up so that you can see it, but you can see how it has the design at both ends of the paper. So this is a 6-inch by 12-inch piece.